Greetings, dear precious spirit soul, dear person there, wherever you are. And I want to thank all of you who are helping me to do this, because I don't do this alone. You know, Michael doesn't do it alone in the videos. All of us, we do it because of your love and your support. And those of you who can help financially whenever you can give money or goods or services, but only with love and support, because you want more people to have this and because you like having it and because it's doing good in the world. And that's what you want to do, is give your support to that which supports you. And so many people will support what doesn't support them. And what happens is it keeps stuff continuing that isn't beneficial to everybody. And it's always, so make sure you're always giving to what gives to you. And that's always what's so wonderful. And also let our children and grandchildren give. Because when people don't give, they don't know that they're powerful enough to have enough to give. Or what they've given, people will think it isn't good enough. But what they do have to give is always enough. And just notice that. Now, my topic here, I finally get to it, is when did you agree to forget who you are? When did you agree to forget who you are? It's always there are agreements. There's contracts. It's contracts, everything. When I was in India, and my friend there, it's wild, got possessed by a ghost. I mean, I'm telling you, I would never believe it if I wasn't there. I was right there. Now, I called Jesus, Mother Mary, help me now. I tell you, whatever it is, whatever I called, it did work. It was just great. And that person then had to be exorcised, this entity. It was very, very strange. And at one point, this entity had dominion taken over this person. And I was watching how the entity was looking out through the eyes and perceiving through this other body, this other person. I know it's weird. Anyway, I was strong, and I was staying strong. I know always knew what to do, because when you're in the know right here without the mind, because the mind didn't know how to do anything, but here I always knew what to do. This entity through the person said, it's all concepts. Well, it is all concepts. Everything is a concept. The rock is a concept, because we call it. It's, the plant over here, it's a willow. And guess what? If you ever needed water, willow trees always grow with water. Water has to be underneath. So if you ever were looking for water, you go, oh, there's a willow tree. And that's going to help you find water. See, when you notice how things are going on, and you notice how things are, because you're an observer, you always get by. You get more than by. You thrive always and flourish. All right. So everything's a contract. It's an agreement. It's something I agreed to. Just like, who was the last person who ridiculed you? Who was the last person that ridiculed you? Okay. Now, here it comes up, and maybe there was a hurt there, or there was a pain. And what did you do about that? Did you shut down? Did you quit? When I was little, I remember at the Methodist church, I never knew what the method was, but anyway, I asked somebody the other day. They said, I don't know, if you stay long enough, you'll figure it out. I said, oh, okay. But anyway, I would say I was probably 3 years old, maybe. And it's the church banquet. In the back of the sanctuary, they had then the big room where they had a stage. So I'm out there, and I guess I had a poem or something, or I don't know what I was going to do, but I'm out on the stage, and I forgot my lines or whatever I was doing, and everybody started laughing. Well, as a little kid, I thought they were laughing at me. They thought it was cute as anything. So what did I do? I went, stomped my foot, and I walked off the stage. It's like, and yet I went back on the stage, because as a singer, I was for years singing musicals and musical comedy and theater, And then, then after my body was 50, then taking lessons from the maestro, David Kyle in Seattle, became an opera singer. But I didn't want to actually be on the stage as an opera singer because I don't like those dramas and those suffering and how emotionalized you have to get it to play these parts of the pain and the sacrifice and the cheating and the war and all of this, of these lives, these stories. It's always big deal. I didn't like it, but I wanted to experience the fullness of my voice. So we have these times where, when did you agree to forget who you are? When was it? Oh, and just notice recently. When was the last time you really honored yourself? When was the last time? Okay, great. Okay, when was the first time you agreed that who you were wasn't good enough? When was the first time? We go, oh, well, take that. What's that? Okay, there's that thing. There's a thought there. There's a thought form. And when we agree to these are concepts, these are programs that are running in the computer of the mind. The mind's really a computer. Our computer is designed after this very clever mind that has an unconscious, subconscious, all of these. When we actually have divine mind, where we have, and so the divine mind would be really your knowing, your awareness, your consciousness of being. And then there would be in a sense, an artificial, where it gets the conscious, the subconscious, and the unconscious, and then it works then in that way as a computer. Well, divine knowing is far superior to any computer that anyone or artificial intelligence of any kind, because we're divine beings. And when we divine beings, we have all of these divine godlike powers, qualities, and abilities that are natural to us, and how we use them is to activate them. Well, these decisions, these choices, these contracts and agreements that we've made, we don't even really realize that says, well, I'll never be on the stage again because they laughed at me. Well, hey, somehow I got over it. I don't know. I compelled to go do it again. And I always used to be scared until I realized the reason I was nervous and afraid is I wanted something from them. I wanted them to applaud. I wanted to feel good. I wanted them to like me. I wanted them to tell me I did a good job. When I got over that, I lost all my fear of speaking in front of people or singing, because I'm just here to offer something for you that is going to benefit you. Whether you like me or not is immaterial. And isn't that a good one? It's not material whether you like me or not, because I love you. I endeavor for your welfare, whether you know it or not, whether you can't tolerate me or not tolerate me or whatever. I know you're just a victim of the mind programming, the mind virus that's attacked at most everybody, and people are infected with it. And you know when they're infected because they're in fear, they're in anxiety, they want to dominate and control others. They are like psychopaths and sociopaths and cruel to animals and humans and life. They build cities as monuments to the demonic levels of the underground, where there is no nature. And people are disassociated from even the nature of the physical body. So that whole time then is what we want to do is to take back our power. And then, as you remember, when is the first time you decided to forget who you are? I want to just now remember. Because you take a look at when we gave our power away, when we signed those agreements, when we made those verbal or contracts or mental contracts or agreements, and we then made a belief system out of it, and the mind made a story out of it, and then we let those things control what we do and where we are and how we live and what happens, because, well, we have these statements. We have these, this is the way it is, and wonder if you didn't have any of that. It wasn't there. Because you see that that's just what it is. It's just what it is. And then when you notice how it operates, just like in anything, When people live in chaos, how do you get rid of confusion? Confront something, just get it, see what's going on. So when you take a look at where these stops are, then throw them off. You see? I got to get over that you see thing, but yes, toss them off and take your power back. And today, now, remember who you are. And all those other agreements, null and void.